What stereotype were you when you were in school? I was the kid that nobody remembers. People would probably look through the school photos and go, "Who was that?" Skinny white boy who slacked in class and was always tired yet still passed, somehow. The gay kid. I was not gay. I am not gay. I went to a small rural school. My high school graduating class was 27 kids. In 8th grade someone found out I had never had a girlfriend, and spread a rumor I was gay, and it stuck until partway through my senior year. I was bullied a lot, physically and emotionally. Small rural schools are brutal, and I can relate to anyone who has gone through such discrimination, and I am sorry if you are going through it now. It gets better. Quiet kid in the back. The floater. I didn't really belong to any real clique, but I could easily get along with just about anyone. It's pretty much the same now. I'm generally really friendly, but I never stick around. Jewish homie that always had extra lunch money. You know what's good. I was a geek nerd before it was cool to be studious. High school slut even though I was a virgin. Theater kid. Weird lonely geek. Wallflower. I hung around the artsy kids, but I was never really an artsy kid myself. Parking lot crowd. Stoner in the smoking area. Kids had the right to smoke in the 70s even though we couldn't legally buy cigarettes. Quiet girl that was always drawing lol. Overachiever. I was class president, tennis captain, in band and drama, 4.0 student, won my school's English and Math Achievement Awards, did clubs, and won most likely to succeed. I wasn't particularly popular or unpopular but got along with most people fine. The creepy guy that everyone thought was going to snap. Dark and mysterious. I was just a shy girl who thought she looked good in dark colors. Poop dealer. The quiet kid type. The cool fat kid who everyone liked but couldn't get a girlfriend for the life of him. Lonely little emo. Horrible choppy haircut with starchy and pink bangs. Would sit outside of class reading some obscure book in hopes someone else would recognize it and have something to talk about. Lord, we've come a ways. Majority of people here were loners in school. The new kid. Changed schools about once a year. There's a lot you can get away with when you're always the new kid. Weird nerdy girl. BC average grades. I wore my kilt most of the time. I transcended among all the cliques. My high school nickname was Totter. I was Irishman, redneck, stoner, moonshiner, skater, longboarder, youth group leader, tutor, mentor, detention hall attendance monitor, pet list with teachers, S list with SRO, baseball, lacrosse, wrestling, hockey. I was in AOIT program and still took CTE shop classes. I hung out with all the nerds, popular kids, druggies, muscle heads, rockers, auto guys, truck guys, rednecks, dorks, goths, Latinos, band, lunch ladies, CA kids. I was all over the map. More people knew Totter than I knew people. Chad. The kid who wore suits. Thought being a character meant I had some. The virgin stoner. The quiet kid. Yes, I did wear a hoodie every day. Yes, I was bullied and I hated everybody. Yes, I listened Pumped Up Kicks a lot. I was a living stereotype. I'm going to college this year, let's see how it goes. Goth. It was fun. Debate kid. Near the top of my class, argued a lot, never got laid. The weeaboo that wears the same sweatshirt every day and Naruto runs in the halls. The self-proclaimed nice guy who was, in fact, a real asshole. Thankfully, grew out of it, and am raising much more self-aware and genuinely kind children. Screeching autist, God, those years were bad. But happy update. I no longer screech or rip things and now function like a semi-normal human. The quiet kid, I have anxiety and I am comfortable just dozing off in my own private world, talking to 1-2 people, so people automatically think I'm dangerous because I'm not extroverted. B grades, but I was in band and wore glasses, so everyone thought I was smarter than I was. The guy who skipped school, like all the time, like holy yes, how did they let me graduate? Smart kid with no social awareness. N-word pass seller, legal though. That weird kid who liked anime and Naruto ran across the hallway. I almost slammed my face into a door once because of how fast I was running. I knew I had to stop this at some point and I did. But I still do enjoy watching anime. Class clown. A teacher once wrote diarrhea of the mouth on a referral to the principal. The black guy. I was the bubbly social butterfly. PPL loved my vines and yes. None of them talk to me anymore since I told them I suffer from treatment-resistant depression. 'Tis a bitch. I got good grades and was a quiet math-loving, D&D playing nerd mostly, but I had just enough of a crazy vibe that I never really got bullied. And, yes, I wore a black leather duster, which I got before either The Matrix or Columbine. In my official yearbook I was voted most likely to win a Nobel Prize and in the unofficial poll I was voted most likely to be a serial killer. I still actually wear the same duster. It's technically old enough to drink, although after many years it's gotten pretty beat up. Nerdy, 70s and 80s rock fan. Smart kid that never did his homework but would help you do yours. Removed. The smart kid who always says they're gonna fail and gets an A except now I'm in law school and I'm doing STI so I hate my life. Divorced parents, behaviorally disabled sibling, and all sorts of S. My counselor basically said I'd just be a number and wouldn't achieve anything. Well, F you Mrs. R, I'm a college student with too much debt now. I was the guy everyone thought was stupid but I had good grades. I was kind of a loner but I got along fine with people when they talked to me. I had friends but I just did my own thing. Better said than dead would do so much better in class if only he would apply himself. Didn't get it until it was way too late. Gifted kid that knew everything. People would ask me random S because I knew random S. Sounds fun but I hated school. Boring as F and most people sucked. Never finished my degree cause I got a job at a computer shop. Now I run it so it's not all bad, but I'm no scientist genius like people thought. The hippie stoner. We talked about drug abuse in class for a unit and I swear I could feel them waiting for me to make a statement about how marijuana is actually not as bad as it seems. John Cena, protector of innocent. I was the quiet kid. I knew I was the quiet kid. The fact that I had that reputation was not a surprise to me. What did surprise me a little was just how quiet many people saw me as. One guy just kept swearing to me that he'd never heard me put more than 3 words together, and I said, "Okay, here's 4 words," and walked away. I guess the problem is that some people thought I disliked them when I really didn't. Some people were surprised that I hardly ever spoke to them, but then when they started talking about something that actually interested me, I started conversing with them. I think some people also thought I was too nervous to speak or something, so then they were pretty surprised when I seemed unhesitant to speak when I finally did. But some people seemed to mostly figure out that me not talking did not necessarily mean that I disliked them. And a few people I was hanging out with one day told me that I didn't speak a lot, but when I did it was worth listening to, which was actually one of the nicest compliments anyone had ever given me about my speaking. Weird social floater. Got along with all groups, but didn't really have any BFFs. Middle school I was the social outcast with no friends. High school I was friends with everyone from every group. Life weird, yo. The nerd kid. Always got the best grades and people would cheat off me on tests homework. Ramona Flowers. I had a beard before beards were cool. The kid who barely talks taught anyone, but if you get taught know me, I'm weird. Burnout. Guy who nailed the geeky foreign exchange girl. She dressed in baggy clothes but had a crazy body underneath. She could take the dong. Expect the unexpected. I hated cliques and groups in high school and refused to be part of one. There were a bunch of us like that. We banded together in our own little clique. I floated the tribes. I was a metalhead burnout in the GATE program that played football. Take a guess. Fat and boring. The skater stoner artist. Good times. Emo kid, still stands to this day. Lazy bastard who never studies and somehow has good grades. The one who never went to prom. I was a few of them. 1. The smart guy who never studied but always got A's. 2. The savage smartass who didn't take S from anyone and openly criticized school policies, teachers' ideas I didn't like. 3. The socially awkward guy who never went out. The wild guy who drank and smoked but hung out with the nerds cause nobody at my school really gave a S who you were as long as you were a good person. Fat kid who thought he was funny but wasn't. Weird, quiet, nerdy and geeky. I was the one labeled the weird kid. I don't know what made me weird exactly. Maybe it was the fact I only hung out with the theater kids, only wore black and was quiet so much like 90% of the school thought I was mute. Edit, typo. The rich, quiet white boy with no real friends in a school full of Inuit. My parents weren't rich growing up. The parents of my classmates were just drug addicts or alcoholics. I was the Daria. They literally nicknamed me Daria. NGL, I loved it. Still do. I'm showing my age, aren't I? Skinny white druggy kid that showed up to school nearly every day. Fed up. Class of 2010. I dressed ghetto and was in a clique where I was the only guy. You would think I'd still be running with that crowd in my 20s. Nope. I wear floral designs and got heavy into gaming. That kid you never knew existed. I was dubbed fat, weird, ugly, quiet kid, but I was actually very athletic. A lot of people said they liked me. I had a great sense of humor, and I was actually very loud. You just had to get to know me. Skinny, pale girl that got mistaken for a boy. A lot. Pothead. That kid who always, and I mean always, wears a jacket during gym, art, science, French. That quiet kid who was bullied because of it. Somehow, I was most likely to destroy the world. The fat, quiet, pretty lonely kid. Nothing has changed. I'm changing the fat bit slowly but surely. That blonde white girl that was super smart and everyone could cheat off her. Fat theater kid. Weird kid. Always had a bloody nose and I swallowed keys in 5th grade. Everyone thinks I'm gay, but I'm quiet and I used to be super weird, so. Goth weeaboo, loudly crying face. Brown nerdy kid. First of class type of kid. Was not much appreciated for it. School shooter. Irish bimbo that likes anime. The gay girl. I'm not gay. I just cut my hair short and nobody believed me when they asked if I was gay and said no. That kid. Very frizzy, rough textured hair, crooked teeth, eccentric personality, didn't really blend in anywhere. Just stood out, didn't want to. Wasn't too bad. Introverted Indian kid that liked spelling and math. The best artist, but only talked to like 10 people because of my social awkwardness and permanent resting bitch face. So quiet, emo art bitch. The weird kid who listened to his dad's music and was socially awkward but still likable, at least I thought so. I was considered Canadian cause I'm white and really nice from their description, also I'm from up north. Shy fat guy with only A's and B+. Asian, great at math and played an instrument, piano and flute to be exact, was one of 2 people in my class who passed the AP Calc exam. I was the quiet nerd but Noon bullied me because I was also the strongest in my class. The poor smart kid who is going to be a total burnout, probably dropout. Okay, I don't know if this counts but I'm currently the nice chubby kid. I'm literally friends with every friend group. I was known as the darky black, dumb child in school. People always thought of me as ugly because of how dark I was, even when the whole class was close to my color. Wore glasses, shy, quiet, straight A, always doing the right thing, teacher's pet. Only part that didn't fit was I started dating a guy from the outcast stoner group my freshman year. We dated all through high school. By senior year we were apparently known throughout our graduating class for how long we'd been dating. Kids from the popular group would approach me and excitedly ask if we were still dating. I would barely be able to get 2 words out. Just shocked they knew who I was and were actually talking to me. Kid who was into Mario. The only game I play Mario related is Smash Brothers. Kid with the cool friends and the kids who play their DS at lunch. The nerdy jock who married the marching band member. Honestly think I was just a wallflower. I didn't super mesh with my friends so I wasn't one of them. My other friends were super dorky and nerdy all the time and even though I'd hang out with them sometimes I don't think I was grouped up with them with how socially awkward they were. One girl, amongst her friends and later I heard it, said I looked like a pedo cause I was tall and had a mustache while hanging out with a guy who was way shorter than me. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to hear more of the best posts.